On today's episode, we're going to talk all about building a successful company culture. If you want to build something great, you're going to have people who do things when you're not around, do the things they're supposed to do when you're not around. What that requires is a company culture, one that breeds success. I don't know of anybody who's built something more impressive than Justin Bosak out of New Jersey. We're going to talk to him today about how he's done exactly that, building a complete culture centered around success. It's going to be a great episode. Stay with us, folks.
The big question is this: how do those of us in the real estate industry with crazy amounts of ambition, how do we think bigger than the building of our own empires? How do we simultaneously seek success and significance, income and impact? My name is Justin Stoddard, and this is the Think Bigger Real Estate Show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. My voice is not 100%, but my energy is. I'm feeling excited about today's episode. Get the privilege of bringing back on the show somebody who's become a dear friend of mine, somebody who is a family man, a man of faith, somebody who absolutely kills it in business. He was the number 2 agent in all of New Jersey, was voted in 2021 ReMax's number 1 brokerage. The guy's a stud. Justin, thanks for coming back on the show, my friend.
Thanks for having me again, bro. Good to see you.
Good to have you. Let's give us a quick update on New Jersey. Obviously, the market's different than what it has been in previous years, but I know you guys. I know that you guys keep slaying it. So, talk us through a little bit about what you're experiencing in New Jersey, and then what you're doing to kind of rise above the circumstances that hold most people down.
Yeah, so the Jersey market, as far as prices go, is pretty stable. We haven't seen a recession, I guess, in housing as far as pricing goes. The amount of volumes dropped down, which is pretty much the norm, across the country. Obviously, higher interest rates will cause that. A lot of people sitting on the sidelines. So I think the overall market's down about 40% in volume. Our agency's about 20%. So we're beating the market. But yeah, I mean, still a lot of agents are going to be getting out of the business, as we see, because of the market shift. But yeah, we're doing our best to hang in there.
I think you said it all right there, Justin. You said the market's down 40%, we're down 20%. And then, guys, if you didn't catch this is what winners do. They recognize that in every market there is opportunity, right? There's opportunity to outperform the market, number 1. And then number 2, there's an opportunity that is underlying, is that agents are getting out of the business. When Justin's team is only down 20%, right? That means that they're doing fine. Compared to other agents, and a whole bunch of agents are either at 40 or below, which means that they're not going to be in the business, which means massive opportunity market share, right? And that's what you're seeing for yourself right now. And again, let's go into this, Justin. I love the update. I'm imagining that as you talk to your brokers, right, that they feel something different in you. They feel an optimism. They feel we're going to win regardless of what's happening in the market. The market doesn't determine our outcome, right? And I'm assuming that that's part of building a powerful, successful company culture. Maybe expound upon that. What do you do to be sure that you guys actually do outperform the market? Like, what is it? And what else does it look like to build this successful company culture?
Yeah, so with any business, you have to really understand what's going on in your market and almost predict, what's going to happen and get the agents ready. So we predicted this last year, so we let our agents know you're going to just have to work obviously a lot harder through this market. You're going to have to be a lot more creative, to get deals done. Obviously, when sellers are sitting on 2%, 3%, 4% mortgages, there's not as much of a reason for them to make a move to buy another property in that same market and take on a 7, 8%, even a 9% mortgage rate right now. So, it's creating those relationships that you may have, already had, maybe rekindling some things, letting people know that you're still here to help out, because still life is going to happen. This is more of a natural market. I think a lot of agents got excited, I guess, about the 2020, 2021 market because the interest rates were low, which motivated a lot of people to move. That's not normal. A normal market isn't really pushing people out of their homes because of a low interest rate. A normal market is just, standard life, right? People get married, people have kids, people get divorced, people pass away. So making sure that, the people that are around you understand that you know what you're doing, and that you're not just an agent that just stepped in the market, just for a couple of years. You're a career agent, you're a professional agent, and making sure that you're educating them as far as what's happening in the market, maybe doing some predictive analysis on what's going to happen. If rates go up, this is what's going to happen. If rates go down, this is what's going to happen. And just making sure people understand that the timing might not be today. The timing could be next year, but let's set up a game plan where if the timing is next year, let's get you ready. So that way you can pull the trigger and recognize when the timing is actually right.
Boy, there's so much value in what you just shared right there. I want to unpack a little bit of that. I think what people want to know when they're choosing a provider, right, a service provider, is that you can see around the corner that they can't see, right? I mean, that's why people are willing to part with, right, money to go to a professional, is because they realize that you see things that we don't see. And I loved how you position that. That is, there's certain life circumstances, right, that come about. There's certain things that happen that force people's hand to make a move, right? Whether it be death, whether it be divorce, whether it be distressed properties, right? Whether it be whatever, just there's all kinds of things that life doesn't always happen in such a way that it happens at the opportunity to buy or sell. So stuff is going to be happening regardless. And for those people that do have the luxury of waiting for kind of that opportune time, right now is the time to be convincing them that you're the person to be helping them as soon as we turn that corner, right? To where there's opportunity to be had right now, and there's all kinds of opportunity to be gained for what's just around the corner, as long as you can help people to see around that corner. Is that kind of a safe assessment of kind of how you guys are operating right now?
Absolutely. It's just kind of doing what you can to kind of hang in there, right? If it's rentals, if you've got to do maybe some commercial deals, think outside of the box, just so you can hang in the business. Because at some point, we know that the faucet's going to open back up, and there's going to be a lot more deals, in the next year or 2 years once the rates drop back down. Which, I mean, everybody anticipates that's what's going to happen, right? It just becomes cause and effect. Obviously, we don't know if there's other matters that are going to happen in the world that are outside of our control, but at the end of the day, everybody still needs housing. So, it's to the point too where, a lot of people that are maybe investors are struggling maybe in the markets like mine, where, people really still have equity. People aren't in pre-foreclosure a lot of times, or they're not giving away their properties. The market's pretty stable. There's a lot of good areas that's the case. There's a lot of areas where that's not the case though. Areas like Texas, areas like Florida, areas like parts of Georgia. Those areas where maybe there was too much deal, too much new construction. You're already seeing those markets, in a little bit of a downturn. They turned down about a year ago. And it's not everywhere. Florida and Texas, I think the biggest, issues there is you have issues with like homeowners insurance.
Right.
So it's understanding what's happening even outside of your market, because as of right now, like I'm investing in, the Georgia market, because I know that there's a good rate of return down there. And it's just, finding maybe a partner that can be on the ground to help in that market. So even though Jersey's a tough market, really, I own properties here. We have rental properties here. And right now it's like the numbers don't make sense. Well, that's just here. That's not across the country. So it's maybe having good relationships with either agents or, maybe business people that across the country that you trust, and maybe aligning outside of the market that you're in to do business.
One thing that's really standing out to me, Justin, is to how you're able to continue to have success and build that culture of success, is that oftentimes when current local circumstances aren't exactly how people want them, they tend to retract, right? It's like, what am I going to talk to people about? I don't have good news for them, right? Rates have not come down. The homes that they were looking at still aren't affordable to them, whatever, right? There's all kinds of lists that everybody can create. By the way, Justin's not immune to these thoughts. He's not immune to these circumstances. But what I hear you doing, Justin, is that you're staying in contact with other people, with always delivering some path forward, right? You're always identifying, hey, look, here's the path forward. And that's exactly what people are looking for. If you were to say, what is a successful culture? It's one that has a strong leader that actually can see their way through whatever the circumstances to a path forward, right? And I think while many agents are retracting and they don't want to talk to people because they don't know what to tell them, you're saying, look, even if it's in a different market, even if it's, around the corner of, once we get into next year, you're staying in communication. And I'm assuming that that's happening both with you staying in communication with your agents, number one, as well as you staying in contact with your clients and having your agents stay in contact with their clients. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just one of those things, right? I have a lot of people that have money that are investors, past clients and stuff like that, and they're looking to place money somewhere, right? So, outside of New Jersey's tough, right? New Jersey's not a good, friendly state for landlords. The numbers aren't working right now. So for me, it was like, yeah, all right, I have contacts in other areas. Let me see what's going on in these other areas, and then as those communications happen and I start looking at the numbers, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I found a market. That was pretty easy. It took me really about 30 days to figure that out, and it was me just kind of getting familiar, with that different market. I've never been to Savannah, Georgia. I'm not sure if I'll ever go there, but I'm now buying properties there. That's one of those things you got to just see, what's happening in that area. That stuff you can research as far as getting on Zillow or Google Maps, talking to different realtors, doing different research, having a guy on the ground and maybe go check out a property. It's really not that tough to put that together. And, whether I have to be there or not, like I know what to look for. I can hop on a call, you can get on video with me, show me what's happening, and that's just really on a single family opportunity. I mean, multifamily opportunities and syndication deals and stuff, those are also very available to be invested in that area as well. So reaching out proactively to people that are doing those things and connecting them with my investors that really have money that they can't do anything with it, right? Because we just can't find the product or the inventory. It's just not the right timing, so being able to be a connector too, to maybe help, even if you're not going to make money in that transaction. Listen, I'm just going to help my client out. I'm just going to put them in a position to win, and then when that market switches here, there's opportunity here. Maybe we'll do something, or maybe we'll all align and do something down south, eventually together. It's one of those things. You just got to keep the ball rolling, even if your market isn't cooperating or it's very restrictive to do deals in. You can't live inside that box. As a broker and an owner, I'm always trying to get creative and always telling my agents to do the same thing. And it's really just trying to stay in business at this point. For me, it's the same deal as most investors. It's like you're sitting on some money. You don't want it to kind of not make you money. So you just have to look a little bit harder, think outside the box.
Yeah. One of the things that I love that you've shared here, right? Not only the concept about staying in communication with people, but you're just, there is always opportunity out there. You just have to find it. Right. And there's never not a pathway forward. There's never not like good news to deliver people. And I feel like some of the short-sightedness of some agents is that like, well, I'm not going to call if that deal isn't going to come to me. And I heard you say specifically this, like, it's okay if you're feeding somebody else business, even if it's in a different industry. Now, and again, the show is sponsored by Pro Insight, which really helps professionals to get and build powerful networks with professionals in other industries. We just had an agent that we coached this past week who shared with us. She said, I reached out to a client proactively to see if I could help them in any way. They said, yeah, we need a CPA. So that client came back and gave me 4 referrals over the next few months. 4 referrals. She was so grateful for the introduction to a CPA. And by the way, most real estate agents wouldn't ask that question. They'd ask, are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Because that's the only thing I do, right? Very, very kind of myopic. This is what I do. Whereas she was like, is there anything I can do to help you? Like, what other professionals do you need? And boom, she connected them to somebody. And that turned into 4 deals, right? From that one client, let alone the value that was given to the CPA. So I think your perspective about stepping back to say, you know what, let's just help people in this market, right? Let's just add value to people who are moving and shaking and doing things, and it will come around. Like, you don't need to keep score. It's going to come around, right? So I think that again speaks to me again as to why you guys continue to have success and outperform the market, is because you're just willing to give value without thinking of if it's going to come back and help you right away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've always had that mindset with the agency side, where we're actually, we have staff and programs and stuff that really don't make us money, but it was, providing value to the agents, making them more productive, allowing them to do more volume. That's really what a broker should be here for. Most brokerages are in place and they're kind of just there for the money, and obviously at the end of the day, everybody has to make money, but we're looking at more of a longer term, ROI on the brokerage side of things, where, we're just continuing to put the right programs and things in place to really provide as much value as we can, because we jumped in this game as young brokers and we said, we want to just build this the way that we would want to see it, the way we would want a brokerage to treat us, as agents, because we were on the other side not too long ago. That's just the way we're going to do it. It's not going to be, hey, we're going to have to squeeze, every penny or every dollar, out of this brokerage for us, because at the end of the day, I'm still actually an agent, producing agent. So, everything that we utilize as a brokerage is also helping me on the sales side of the business as well. So the nice thing is everything was trialed and tested, and we know it works. So, we're looking to add some other things, to the brokerage. We started a title company. We've got a mortgage company coming in line. Investment, aspect of the business and property management, are going to be coming soon. So, we just continue to add things to the foundation, of the business. And, a lot of the ROI coming into the business is just going right back out, which is fine, because we're looking at everything, long term. We want to look back in 10 or 15 years and say, okay, cool. We've got X amount of agents, but we also bought, X amount of buildings, and, we kind of control our destiny at that point. Where a lot of brokerages, I feel like they ended up, phasing out at a certain point. They get tired of, doing what they're doing, or they just don't build. And, that's how you go out of business.
Yeah. Well, you've got a mentality of expansion, right? Even in contraction type, based markets, you're still looking to, there's still ways to expand. Could be into other markets, could be into other verticals. But if you think expansion, I think that's what the kind of agents that you want to partner with, the kind of people, even clients you want to be in business with, that's the way they think. There's always a way to expand. There's always a way to be growing, which is maybe a perfect segue into my final question here, Justin. I'm sad that time goes so fast on our calls, but it's always fun to highlight you, to the Think Bigger Real Estate audience. So I appreciate you coming. But this final question is, what is it that you do to continue to be a big thinker, to continue to expand your possibilities? What does that look like for you?
So it's really research and education, so over the weekend, I was probably sick, just like you, but I spent, the entire weekend, listening to video and listening to some, creative finance, from some people that are just smarter than me. There's always somebody out there that's going to be doing something new and different or unique. And there's always some things you can learn. So I'm always open to hearing things. I'm always looking, for some new things, new creative ways to do business, or integrate things into my business. So there's never a stop to it. Everything is always going to be, moving and growing and changing when it comes to me. I push a little too hard, on my partners with some of this stuff, but, eventually, some of these things do hit, whether it's our marketing, advertising, social media, all the creative stuff, that I put on the plates of my two amazing business partners. We're always going to be cutting edge, I guess, for the reason of I'm just always going. I can't shut my brain off, and it is what it is. It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, and guys like you attract other guys and gals like you, right? People who, again, are always in growth mode, always looking to improve, and looking to expect a lot of the people around you, right? I think that's maybe the last final clue that you've given to us on building a successful culture. Is that not only are you doing a lot and offering a lot, but you expect a lot. You expect a lot with the people around you, because that's the only way to get to your big goals and help them get to theirs. And so I love it, man. You've taught us a lot today, as you always do, and I appreciate you, and continue crushing it in New Jersey. And again, if you're looking to place any business in New Jersey, Justin Bosak's your guy. So appreciate you, man, very much. Thanks for your time today.
Anytime, Justin. Talk to you later, brother.
See you, bro.
You found value in anything that you heard here today, do me a favor and just take a quick screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on social media. That will give you the heads up to create more content like this in future episodes. Also, if you are wanting to build your wealth advisory team in less than 30 days that gives you 2 to 4 professional referrals every month, go to ProInsight.